In commercial real estate, you need to understand where the developer is coming from and how strong you yourself as an investor or the developer's property that you're buying is, how strong he is or they are in terms of leasing.
Do you think that in certain key micro markets in Gurgaon, right, there has been an oversupply of land? In last 4 or 5 years, right, the SCOs which have been launched, right, they have not seen that amount of uptake in terms of market development.
So a lot of SEOs over here which have come up in Delhi NCR market now in the last few years, they don't have an ample parking space and they don't have the accessibility. You need to be a user first. If you can use the product or the place, and if you would want to go there, then it has no chances of working. Right?
Any city which starts off predominantly has a central business district, right? And then they eventually start shifting to supporting business districts, and then they start shifting to peripheral business districts, right? Today we have Mr. Aditya Agarwal, who is head of sales at Capital Group. He has more than 10 years of real estate experience, and I'm sure that we will be learning a lot of nuances about real estate from him. So welcome, sir. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
And to start off with, would love to know what has been your journey so far in real estate. How did you enter into real estate as an industry?
So I entered real estate into early 2014 and as an investor. So I was looking for projects to invest in. That's how I entered real estate. But later on, I joined a firm in real estate as a agent, and then now I'm in capital. Our promoters started their real estate journey in Delhi NCR in 1980s. So basic forte of our group is commercial real estate. We make a property and we lease it out. So leasing and construction is our core strength as capital.
Okay. One very important factor as far as Gurgaon real estate market is concerned is that we have seen post-COVID, especially, right? Especially in last few years, and that residential market has gone through the roof, right?
Yeah.
And the similar movement or the similar returns we have seen has not been generated for the customers so far in the commercial segment, right? So, do you think that commercial segment or commercial real estate is again starting to pick up, or how should investors view commercial real estate when they have already seen a lot of returns being made in the residential market?
See, there are two different things, commercial and residential real estate. In commercial real estate, you need to understand where the developer is coming from and how strong you yourself as an investor or the developer's property that you're buying is, how strong he is or they are in terms of leasing. So that is where the whole problem is. People who come into commercial real estate and don't have a leasing team, they cannot actually succeed. Anybody can succeed in residential because you're giving the property away, selling the property and exiting the property. In commercial real estate, you have to take care of the property for a longer run, have proper connections and proper relationships with the leasing partners. So you have to have a proper channel and companies with you that you bring along on the table for investors to make a good ROI.
So, how should an investor essentially try to figure out that this is possibly one of the better commercial real estate investments which I can make, and sort of weed out the riskier ones?
See, firstly, when you go to look at a property, first you need to understand, you start with the developer. And then after you do your R&D on the developer and you show that the developer has some leasing power and can give you assistance to get your property, whatever you've taken for leasing, if it's not for self-use only, then after that you need to understand the property, that how the accessibility of the property is, what the property offers to the clients. Only then you take a choice that will this property work or will this property not work.
So coming on to a very interesting phenomena that what we have observed so far is that post-COVID there has been a significant uptick in terms of inventory which is available, right? Both in residential as well as in commercial real estate. Do you think that in certain key micro markets in Gurgaon, right, there has been an oversupply of the inventory, right? And when I talk about key micro market, I think Golf Course Extension Road is something which comes to everyone's mind because it has been the hub of residential real estate development, and to a larger degree to cater to that residential development, there has been a lot of influx of commercial supply as well. Do you think that there is an like huge oversupply which is possibly contributing to a factor of not generating enough returns for the investors, or is it something which is a time bound thing that with time that commercial sort of supply will be utilized as well with time?
See, you have to understand, in the last 5 years, the Gurgaon golf course extension market has just started in the last 5 years. People have started to shift in the last 2 3 years. People have started actually living over here. And it takes any commercial establishment to start building up when there are people living around in that vicinity. So it does take a commercial property to get proper leasing and proper ROI for an investor. Takes time. It takes more time than a residential market.
Okay. So when we talk about commercial real estate, right, there is a very different type of a asset class which is in SCO, right, or which is a commercial plot, right? Would love if you could delve a bit deeper into what a commercial plot or what an SCO is. How is it possibly different from other retail asset classes like high street retail or malls or any other commercial real estate?
See, once you've decided that you want to go ahead with a commercial investment, then you have different lines in it. It gets further divided. So one is office space, like you said, and the other is an SCO. SCO means shop come office. So when you buy an SCO, you get it from ground above. First you get the plot, then you make an SCO, and then you lease it out, and then however you want to do it. But if you buy an office space, most disadvantage that you have is when you buy an office space of 100, for example, 1000 square feet office space, you'll get the office space of 500 square feet. The loading is 50%. In an SCO, that's not the concept. The total build-up area decides the rent you will have and your construction cost. That's first basic difference. And the other difference is if the mall is not working and you buy a retail space in that mall, your shop is not gonna work. Okay, over here you have a plot. At least you have some more, like you have more advantage of a plot than a office. And the loading in an SCO is almost 30%, maximum 30%. In an office space, like I said, it goes above 50 to 55%. That's the basic advantage of getting an SCO.
So from our discussion, what I have understood is that SEO is essentially better for the market because, especially from an investor's point of view, because it gives them better rental opportunities.
Plus the exit in an SEO is also better. Now with the scheme the government has come up with, you can register floor wise and sell it floor wise.
When we talk specifically about SEOs, right, we have observed that when we talk about South Delhi, right, South especially, we talk about GK, right, these have been some of the successful SEO market developments which have happened in Delhi. Similarly, when we talk about Gurgaon, we talk about Sector 29, which has been probably one of the beacons of SEO market, right, and coupled with the factor that it's an entirely commercial sector. What we have observed is that in last 4 or 5 years, right, the SCOs which have been launched, right, they have not seen that amount of uptake in terms of market development, or do you think that the jury is still out on that, that it's too early to say essentially that they have been a successful product, or they see, because fundamentally logically SEO should work, right, like they have better coverage, they have better.
Then it all comes to the developer, no?
Okay.
So a lot of other developers, what they do is they have a piece of land. They don't want to make a residential building because they have other residential projects going on or something. So what happens is they cut it into pieces and sell it as an SEO, and they want to exit it. So the difference in our product and the other products is that we are not exiting the project. Like Sector 29 market you mentioned, and GK and SouthX, they all work for one very big reason, which is the parking. In an SEO, generally what people do is they park their car and they go to the shop they want to go to. So a lot of SEOs over here which have come up in Delhi NCR market now in the last few years, they don't have an ample parking space and they don't have the accessibility. Plus their viewership from the roads is not good enough. They're not open, like there are only two entry exit points maybe. So these are the few things why they don't work. So whenever you're shortlisting an SEO, you need to look at all the things in a macro level and understand why this SEO can work and what are the disadvantages and why would you go to one. Any investment in anything in life, in real estate and in everything, you need to be a user first. If you can use the product or the place, and if you would want to go there, then it has more chances of working, right?
Right. So, would love to understand a bit more about one of the key SEO projects from Capital Group, right, which is like global one. So, I'm sure a lot of our viewers and a lot of investors would be excited to know about this project. So, would be great like if you could like go deep dive into this
Of
project
course.
as well.
So, firstly, I want to start with this One Global SEO. It's a 12-acre plot that we are building the SEOs on, and it's a three-side open plot. So you have the accessibility to the Manesa Road, to the main NH8, to the golf course extension road, and to the all the housings around us. So in the three-side open plot, one is touching the SPR, the 90-meter road. One we have a 60-meter road, and one we have a 24-meter road between us and DLF Alameda. So if you know of DLF Alameda, it's the prime plotting of DLF.
Right.
Better than DLF phase 1, 2, 3, which has come up.
Right.
So that is one basic advantage that we have. Secondly, in this 12-acre plot, we have a 5-star hotel coming up by the name of Intercontinental Hotel and Resorts. So we have already signed that up. In this area, we have 12 lakh square feet office space coming up with a cinema chain also inside the office space. Plus, that office space has 3 multi-level car parking and 3 basement car parking. Okay, so which is going to cater to the SEO as well later on the weekends when the office space is shut. Coming back to the SEO, we have 82 SEOs in this 12-acre plot, and we have a 1.14-acre water body in the middle. Plus the parking spaces inside the SEO, which you get is 475. So when you divide 475 by 82, you have 6 SEO car parkings in general. Plus on the peripheries, on the green areas, you have 350 car parkings on each side of the plot. So you have more than 1,000, 1,200 car parkings at any given time. That is the first basic we try to build. Plus the water body is a huge advantage because it gives us soothing environment. It's very good for food and beverage. So leasing out to food and beverage is going to be a very easy task when you see the water body area. Plus another point is there is no banking around our area. So DLF Alameda being a huge plotting development by DLF, there is no banking. We are trying to lease it out to all banking players. So banking is a safe investment, safe leasing partner that you can choose. So that is the basic advantage that we have. Plus the biggest advantage that we have, and we are passing it on to the customer, is that our height of the SEO is 19 meters. Every other SEO in Delhi NCR is 15 meters. The only reason that we have 19 meters, which everybody can do, it's not a magic that we are doing. So we have to take a fire NOC, which we had already taken for the hotel and the office space. So we extended it for our SEO project as well, because of which we are giving 20% extra space to the user. So the FAR coverage which the government has given is generally 4.285 for the SEO. Okay, so every other SEO project you can only cover 3.6, where we are covering 4.285, in which we are giving you basement, ground floor, first, second, and third floor, and fourth floor, which is, and all the floors are of good height, double height. The ground floor is 5.1 meters height. So is the basement. So you get all detailing partners over here. Plus in the other SEOs, because of no fire NOC, not many multinational chains which are like all over, they have very stringent things to cover, which other SEOs are not able to cover. That's why they're all empty. That's why the leasing is empty, because no international player wants to come in an SEO which has no fire NOC.
So from what I understand, this seems to be a very, very big project, right? And seems to be sort of a market development sort of an exercise on SPR road, right? In terms of covering all the aspects of the commercial, right? Be it retail, be it office space, be it in hoteling industry as well.
And entertainment.
And entertainment as well, right?
Cinema.
So, how do you see Gurgaon real estate developing over next 5 years, right? So Do you think that Gurgaon is already a world-class city? Do you think that Gurgaon is on way to become a world-class city? From an investor's perspective, right? Why should an investor invest in Gurgaon rather than possibly any other city out there in India? How do you see that whole equation playing out over the next 5 years?
See, with the offices coming in Gurgaon, it's fast. It's a very fast developing city. The Gurgaon which we see, which was there earlier, has developed over a period of time, and then it didn't have a space to make proper schemes and proper development areas. Now, when you see new Gurgaon and this area developing, the SPR and the golf course extension, it's much better planned as compared to the Gurgaon that we see of earlier. So that is one basic point as an investor, that you get a project or a property or a product which is, the surroundings are better, the plotted, better schemed to develop. So that is one thing. Plus the office spaces are coming up. Like next to us is American Express's biggest building, if of India. We have Air India in front of us. We have Genpact very near to us. We have this plotting. We have 8 lakh families shifting in. We have 8 lakh apartments getting possession in the next 2 years. So obviously, when there is so many people coming in, the market is going to boom. And the advantage that you can get in a developing area is much more than a developed area advantage. So that is why it's better for an investor coming to this market, because it's a growing market. If you go to Bombay market, or if you go to Hiranandani, or maybe old Gurgaon, the Gurgaon which is developed, the amount of appreciation that you will get will always be very limited compared to whatever is developing now. So that is.
So there is a very interesting parallel which I would like to draw here, right? Which is essentially the way in which a city gets developed, right? And any city which starts off predominantly has a central business district, right? And then they eventually start shifting to supporting business districts, and then they start shifting to peripheral business districts, right? So do you think that time has come for Gurgaon when we say that Golf Course Road essentially used to be a central business district or CBD, and now with the rapid expansion of extension route, right? That do you think that time in terms of office spaces and being business districts, that has started happening in Gurgaon as well, wherein a lot of big offices or big multinational companies, they start shifting from CBDs to SBDs and then to PBDs, primarily because of, again, 2 reasons which you mentioned. One is that in SBDs they are better planned, in PBDs they are better planned, there is a better
Plus
plan.
the price inflation.
Right.
You get a better pricing over here in the developing areas.
In terms of rentals for the
In terms of
multinationals
rentals,
as well.
yes.
So you think that same phenomena has started to happen in Gurgaon, or?
Of course, that's started to happen, because earlier, a few companies that I named earlier, you saw their offices in the main areas, in Golf Course Road or maybe Cyber Hub. Now they're coming to this area. There is a reason.
Right.
All these 2 reasons.
Right. Sure. So, sir, finally, would love to know your final closing thoughts on how an investor should sort of look after himself or look after his investments, especially in the commercial segment in the upcoming 5 years.
See, I'll give you very few pointers to be very precise. First of them is just study about the developer and know of their leasing power and what they've already built. Visit those complexes, understand their team, and then shortlist projects. After you do that, then come on to the project. When you shortlist any project, I would personally suggest go to that project every month or every weekly once. See what is happening there. See if the construction is actually happening or not happening, or there is showing it to happen. These are the few very basics a investor should understand. And then obviously, whatever you save in the starting, you have to negotiate. In real estate, whatever you save in the starting of your buying is the actual profit that you can consider. Everything else over and above is what the market will give you. And that is on a lot of outer circumstances which are not in your control.
Sure. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for having us here. Great talking to you, sir.
Thank you.